United have to start being savvy when it comes to the transfer market, and we need to address the midfield. It's one of the biggest areas in the squad. Literally, get a striker in. Let's have a look at midfield, because midfield has been constantly neglected. You're looking at players that are just past it, unsuited, tactically not the right sort of stuff. You need a midfield that's going to require athleticism, pressing intensity, ability to take the ball on a turn, move it through the thirds. And the players that we've got in midfield at the moment, they're not perfectly suited to that. You've kind of got like a ton of different players and a ton of different profiles that if you could arrange them in a 3, you'd probably get a fantastic midfield out of them. But as a 2, it's not really the right stuff. You've got Casemiro's declining mobility, Mainoo's inexperience and lack of physicality, a reliance on Ugarte, who's, I'll say, is limited in terms of his ball playing ability. People are going to take that the wrong way, but I know what I mean. And Bruno Fernandes, it's Bruno Fernandes, right? He's not going to ever be the guy that covers all of the ground, makes all the tackles, a bit of a physical domination, and looks after the ball. He's not going to do that. He's got a lot of really good traits. They're not that. And there's a young 22-year-old called Javi Guerrera, 6'2", which is what I'd like. I've been trying to identify a physical specimen to play midfield because I think it's important. From Valencia, I think he has to be a target that United should consider. Last season in La Liga, we got to see a real level of versatility from a player that's primarily a bit of a deep-lying playmaker, a player that can play as a box-to-box midfielder, and we've even seen him play a little bit more advanced. Last season, he had an 85% pass accuracy with 4.2 progressive passes per 90. That shows the ability not just to keep it ticking, but also to break lines and go vertical when it's required. 3.5 pressures per 90 in the final third and 2.5 tackles plus 1.5 interceptions also highlight and demonstrate a high work rate. So this is a player that, from a stats point of view, can do both sides of the game to a very high level. Then you look at his composure. He only loses the ball 0.8 times per 90. That's got maturity. 50% aerial duel success rate suggests that that's a bit of a concern for the Premier League. And against the very, very best, there has been, according to the eye test at least, a little bit of decision making that could probably be improved. It's 2025. Every single click, every search, every site is all tracked unless you take control. And that's where Surfshark VPN, the sponsor of today's video, comes in. It is your all-in-one solution for online privacy, freedom, and peace of mind. Whether you are working from a coffee shop, streaming from the airport, or just browsing at home, Surfshark encrypts your data. It hides your location and keeps prying eyes out of your online life. And right now, you can try it with an extra 4 months for free. Free, I said. Just head to surfshark.com/Howson or use the code Howson at checkout. That's HOWSON at the checkout. But Surfshark isn't just about your protection. You also get unlimited devices on one subscription. It's perfect for families or multi-device users. You get a clean web feature to block ads, malware, and trackers. You get split tunneling, so you can choose which apps get to use the VPN and which don't. You get bypasser, which is great for apps that need direct internet access, like streaming or banking, because sometimes banking can be a bit of a drama if you've got a VPN. It's fast, it is easy to use, and even if you've never touched a VPN before, you'll be up and running in minutes. If you care about your online privacy, and you should, and you want to browse without limits, and you should, and stop your data from being harvested, and you should, now is the time. Go to surfshark.com/Howson or enter the code Howson, that's HOWSON, to get 4 months extra for free and a 30-day money-back guarantee on top of it. It is completely risk-free. Thanks again to Surfshark for sponsoring the channel and for helping make the internet a safer place. Now, when you look at how he would fit in a 3-4-3, that occasionally shifts to a 5-4-1 out of possession. We have a high defensive line. We look to press aggressively to force turnovers. In possession, you're looking for 2 sort of athletic central midfielders. One tasked a little bit more with that ball playing, and one tasked a little bit more with doing a bit more of the running. Both required to cover ground. Both required to receive the ball under pressure. Both required to progress the ball vertically. Try and find those inside forwards. Try and find those wing backs. Amorim's system at Sporting prioritised those quick transitions, the numerical superiority in midfield, dynamic movement. Wing-backs give you the width and the depth on the pitch by pushing forward. So midfielders have to blend defensive intensity, progressive passing, and doing so in a manner that probably was exemplified by Hjumland more than anybody else, really. It's a demanding yet structured setup for a midfielder. So does he fit that? Well, Guerrero's skill set does align with Amorim's 3-4-3. Probably more as the number 8, with Ugarte being the more kind of number 6. Those progressive passes, 4.2 of them per 90, really help facilitate Amorim's desire to play vertical, feeding players like Bruno, if he was played ahead of him, or the wing-backs, or the 9. The 3.5 pressures per 90 would suit a high-pressing system, and Guerrero's versatility would allow him to occasionally rotate in, maybe being one of the number 10s against a low-block team. He only got 2 goals this season, but they came from sort of late darts into the box. That could add a bit of a scoring threat to us if we need it. The composure, as we spoke about a second ago, absolutely fits Amorim's need for someone that's reliable when it comes to possession. Could potentially reduce Bruno's creative burden. And it could probably emulate what we've seen from Pedro Goncalves' hybrid role at Sporting, where there's tactical flexibility in a bit more of a box midfield that, you know, maybe even looks like a 3-1-6 when you're in possession. That 50% aerial duel success rate, though, I can't ignore that. I'm just confused by it because he's physically so big. And you look at him, you know, he would easily start to resemble a Rodri, for example, but where he should be able to hold his own visually, he's struggling with that. So I don't know if that would improve, transitioning from the 4-3-3 that Valencia played to the 3-4-3 that we would play. There would be required learning for a new role. The central combinations, the wing-back support, there would also be competition for his position with probably Menu, Casemiro, with Ugarte. That might benefit him. He can come into the team and come out of the team. Ugarte's familiarity with the system probably means he would lock down the 6, and you would look at Menu for ball carrying, Casemiro for, you know, the all-round game, and that would maybe mean Guerrero could come in and be the successor to Casemiro. Breaking into the starting 11 would require adaptation and probably a little bit of patience, but he's rumoured to be worth around about 20 to 25 million pound, which I think is a pretty good price for someone that could end up being United's first choice. And maybe coming in with players in front of you takes away the pressure, takes away the desire for people to see instant success like an 80-90 million pound signing would be. I think he's a real good technical and physical base. I think he's not perfect, and maybe that's what United need to bring in. Someone that's a little bit of a project that could, in a few years, round out that aerial sort of dual winning and be a bit of a fucking problem, because that's what we need. Maybe that's what we need to start doing, is looking for unpolished diamonds rather than people that we think are an absolute perfect fit and it couldn't possibly go wrong, and just spend 100 million on him. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's what I think. Please let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. It's all about opinions. And I'll see you in the next one. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.